Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. As I was telling you yesterday, it was all about Virat Kohli being there till the end. If at all India had to win the first Test match, well, unfortunately, that didn't happen, and England were victorious as England won the first Test match against India by a margin of 31 runs, and it was all about Virat Kohli. As far as Virat Kohli was there, the hope was there. As soon as Virat Kohli fell, it was all over for India, and one thought that it was a writing on the wall. So that is so. Basically, England started off in a fine fashion by winning the first Test match, and also one has to say this was a very well fought Test match with both the sides not giving an inch. Well, so one wishes that in the four Test matches that are coming up, the forthcoming four Test matches, one definitely has certain something that happened in the first Test. It should be a riveting contest, according to me. Well, so that is as far as, so I'll be talking about that game in greater detail. And some cricket coming up is the third one-day international between Sri Lanka and South Africa, where Sri Lanka it's a must-win match for Sri Lanka, one could say, because if one more failure there in this particular third one-day international at Palakere, and it will be curtains for Sri Lanka in the ODI series, and South Africa would love to do that, especially after being drubbed in the Test matches. So one would be waiting, and so Sri Lanka would definitely be trying their best to not to lose it. As I said, if they lose the series. So I'll be doing a brief preview of that, and also in the United States, in Lauderhill in Florida, we are having the second ODI coming up. Now, the second ODI is not going to be played in the West Indies. Not the second ODI, sorry, the second T20 match is not going to be played in the West Indies. It's going to be played in the United States, in Lauderhill in Florida. And West Indies and Bangladesh will be taking the second ODIs. You know, the first ODI was won by the West Indies. And West Indies always, a very powerful team as far as T20s is concerned, which is definitely suiting their natural stroke-making capabilities. And Bangladesh would definitely like to win this particular T20. As I said, if they lose this particular T20, Bangladesh will have to probably forget about the T20 series. Well, so let's talk about it then. So let's start off with the match, the first Test match, the 4 days play between India and England. So we are coming to that right now. So let's have a look as to what happened today. So it all started off with Virat Kohli at the crease, and Dinesh Karthik was there. They were resuming at their overnight score of 110 for 5, and a tragedy struck India right away on the 4th day with the very first over, with only 2 runs added by Dinesh Karthik to take his score to 20. He fell a victim to the bowling of Anderson on the final delivery of the first over of the day. And let's see what happened. So basically, it was Dinesh Karthik, definitely not a good shot from Dinesh Karthik, poking at a ball which was leaving him, and David Mallon at second slip actually took a good low catch, and that was the end of Dinesh Karthik. So not a good beginning for India for sure. Dinesh Karthik gone, caught Mallon, bowled Anderson, 20 with 2 boundaries. Now Virat Kohli was there at the crease, and Hardik Pandya joined him, and Virat Kohli played a few confident. I mean, he was looking more confident. He knew where his off stump was when he was playing against the English bowlers, especially James Anderson, and he also knew how to negotiate them, and which was good to see, like what strokes to play for which delivery, which was good to see. And Hardik Pandya and also Virat Kohli was not leaving any opportunity. Whenever he used to get an opportunity to drive the ball, he used to drive it in a merciless manner to the boundary. And Hardik Pandya had joined him. Now this was the key for India. If this pair And Hardik Pandya, one would have still hope because he's a player who can play like Sam Curran, who played the other day. But Hardik Pandya, on the other hand, restricted himself. He decided that he's not going to play his natural game today. He's basically going to stay put at the crease and try to give as much strike to Kohli as possible. And that was very well done. He showed a real restraint over there. And as that was going on, and the score had reached 141 for 6, and the India's big fish fell to the bowling of Ben Stokes. Now this was something that Virat Kohli probably would be not happy with the stroke, because the ball was pitched around the middle and leg stump, and in fact Virat Kohli was shaping to flick the ball. He moved across the stumps to flick the ball, but there was absolutely no bat in that. He missed it, and the ball went and hit the pads, and in fact it was all over. I mean, the umpire's decision, Alim Dar had already picked him, raised his finger, and what a wicket. As I said, it was a gifted wicket according to me. So definitely not a very good shot from Kohli, but nevertheless he had to walk back to the pavilion, and Virat Kohli was gone, and India's hopes were totally dashed. As Virat Kohli was gone, LBW bowled Ben Stokes for 51 with 4 boundaries, and Ben Stokes was bowling excellently, let me tell you that. Hardik Pandya was there, so a sliver of a hope there with the score on 141 for 7. But still a long way to go. Around 53 runs were still to get, as Hardik Pandya was joined in by Mohammad Shami. Mohammad Shami could not last long at all. As soon as he came just facing 3 balls, Ben Stokes was on absolutely, I would say, cock-a-hoop after getting the wicket of Virat Kohli, and he actually picked up the wicket of Mohammad Shami as well. This was a typical delivery to a tail-ender. Mohammad Shami got a ball which just jagged away slightly, but Shami was trying to defend it, but it was all over. It had taken it has nicked the bat, and bat is two behind the stump, settled in well. Mohammad Shami was gone for naught, and that made the score 141 for 8. And now Hardik Pandya was left with only Ishan Sharma and Umesh Yadav to come, and now one knew for a fact that probably Hardik Pandya had to get his aggressive game to the fore. But Hardik Pandya still showed a bit of restraint, but the bowling was pretty tight. It was not easy to get the ball off the square, and then in fact I thought a very good captaincy by the England captain Joe Root. He had seen that the tailenders have always struggled against the leggy the Rashid Khan, not able to pick him, and he immediately summoned this leggy Rashid into the mix, and Rashid did not disappoint. As in the first innings, he fooled Ishan Sharma with a googly, and that was it. He was out LBW to Rashid Khan for 11. To Rashid for 11 with 2 boundaries. So that was the end of Ishan Sharma. The score was 154 for 9. Umesh Yadav joined him. Umesh Yadav was doing a fairly good job of blocking well, but Hardik Pandya was definitely getting under pressure because he was the one on whom India's hopes totally revolved. And he started off, in fact, Joe Root wanted to just give the sort of a bait to Hardik Pandya, so he brought his fielders in, forcing Hardik Pandya to, tempting him to actually play his strokes. He definitely did as soon as that was done, when he smacked Stokes into the fence for 4, but that was it. After that, Hardik Pandya was a goner. Ben Stokes was bowling superbly, did it here, as he got a ball outside the off stump. There was a bit of lift as well, and Pandya was probably trying to stab at it, and it was all over. He got a big edge, and it was Alistair Cook in the slips who held it, and it was all over for the India. India were bowled out for 162. England winning the first test by 31 runs, and as I said, it was a very well fought test match. There were a lot of positives to come from this, which I'll be talking about. As far as the bowling was concerned, Ben Stokes, according to me, even though he bowled very well in the first innings and the second innings, and that is great news for England. Ben Stokes 14.2 overs, 2 maidens, 40 runs and 4 wickets, bowled splendidly, I thought. Anderson had 2 for 50. Broad had 2 for 43. 1 wicket apiece to Sam Curran and Adil Rashid. And Sam Curran, there was no doubt about it for his wonderful all-round performance in this particular test match. In only his second test match of his international career, definitely promises great things to follow. He was given the man of the match because, according to me, he was the man who really turned this match around with that 63 Cavalier innings of 63, which allowed England to actually defend a score of 194. So definitely, so England have won the first test match, but as I said, there were a lot of thrills, chills and spills in this particular test match, no doubt about it. And one only feels that in the second test match, which is going to be starting on Thursday, the next Thursday, one would expect India to probably bring in Cheteshwar Pujara into the mix, probably in place of Shikhar Dhawan. One has to wait and watch as to what the Indian think tank comes up with. So that is as far as, so the first test match is all over. So, but definitely, as I said, it is promising out to be a sort of a riveting contest in this test series, no doubt about it. So that is as far as that particular test match is concerned. Now, talking about the third ODI, which is coming up between South Africa and Sri Lanka. As I said, it's a very, very important match for Sri Lanka. It's a 5-match ODI series. South Africa are 2-0 in the ODI series, and the third match is coming up at Kandy, and it's going to be the Sri Lankans under immense pressure, because it's a must-win game for them, and if they don't win it, they definitely won't be able to win the ODI series, and South Africa will take the ODI series. So looking at the Sri Lankan team, Kushal Pereira, Niroshan Dikwala have been doing well. Upul Taranga has been a sort of a weak link there. He has not been able to really stabilize this Sri Lankan innings, for which he's quite known for. Kushal Mendis is also not into some good form, so that is something that Sri Lanka will be wanting from Kushal Mendis. Shehan Jayasuriya has not been amongst the runs as well. And as far as the bowling is concerned, whether Akila Danja has been doing a good job, but he has been leaking far too runs. Probably he could put a sort of an economical spell to really hold things up for the Sri Lankans. And as far as the South Africans are concerned, they would be marching here with confidence, no doubt about it. Quinton de Kock, Hashim Amla. Now Hashim Amla has got himself into some sort of form, one could say, with a 43 runs runabout stuff, and he looked absolutely at ease when playing his classical strokes, which had that grace of that real Amla that we are talking about. Aiden Markram has been among the horrors. He has been going through the horrors, and this would be a sort of a big test for him. Because South Africa would definitely expect Aiden Markram to come to the fore tomorrow and play a nice innings where he could show his phenomenal talent that he showed when India toured South Africa. Du Plessis, Dumini have been doing a fairly good job. David Miller could be very useful if you could smack a few balls of the Sri Lankans into the ballpark. Mulder has been looking decent, and Falakwayo has been doing a fairly good job. The bowling has been very good. Lungi Gidi has been bowling in the good areas. Kagiso Rabada has been excellent, and Tamrai Shamsi has also been giving a tough time to the Sri Lankans. Well, as far as this particular match is concerned, you can make Palakele the better venue, one could call it, and normally these are the times when there would be showers as well, and so there could be plenty in it for the pace bowlers to keep them interested. So definitely the spinners also could get effective as well. So that is something which is coming up. As I said, it's a must-win game for Sri Lanka. Now the second T20 which is coming up, which is not going to be played in the West Indies. After West Indies won the first T20 match against Bangladesh, the second T20 is going to be played in the United States. It's Lauderhill in Florida, and Lauderhill in Florida has proved very lucky for the West Indians. Whenever they have been playing the T20 matches, against India, one would remember it was a high scoring match where Evan Lewis smashed a wonderful century. So Bangladesh and West Indies, the second T20 which is coming up at Lauderhill in Florida. So let's have a look at the teams here. As far as Bangladesh are the ones who have to win this. It's a three-match T20 series, and if at all Bangladesh don't win this particular ODI, this T20 match, they can probably forget the ODI series, as West Indies would have taken the ODI series. Now, as far as West Indies are concerned, they have been looking good. Evan Lewis, Andre Fletcher, Andre Russell. Probably it's an experiment that they are doing. They have decided to slot in Andre Russell at one drop. So just giving him an opportunity. Say, for example, if any, what I would really say here is that Andre Russell, probably they're doing an experiment here. They are probably trying to see how Andre Russell fits in, and I'm very happy with this experiment that West Indies are doing, where they are slotting in Andre Russell at one drop, and then Marlon Samuels follows, Dinesh Ramadhan, then the big hitters like Roman Pavel, Carlos Brathwaite, Timo Paul, Ashley Nurse, Samuel Badri, and Casey Williams bowled excellently the other day with his veritable mix of deliveries against the Bangladeshis. Samuel Badri has been not looking pretty good. I mean, he's normally a very good T20 specialist bowler. He has been looking a bit off color, according to me. And looking at the Bangladesh team, who are the ones who have to do something about it? The Bangladeshis, Liton Das is having a very good record in T20s. He's someone who really likes to put the ball beyond the square first up during this, and he really uses it to good advantage. Has been having a good record so far. So Liton Das and Tamim Iqbal is in some great form, no doubt about it. Soumya Sarkar has not been able to find his form at all. But the other ones, Mushfiqur, Shakib and Mahmudullah, are also looking in good nick as far as this match is concerned. Ariful Haq, the Marius and Miraz on this particular tour of the West Indies has been doing a fantastic job of throttling the West Indian batting order and also picking up wickets. Mustafizur Rahman has been doing a good job. Rubel Hussain has been a sort of a weak link, according to me. Nazmul Islam gets an opportunity as well. So this is the second T20 which is coming up. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think it's almost, as far as this cricket show is concerned, it's almost done here. But you keep an eye on my Twitter as well. I do tweet on all the cricket matches that are being played. Subject to time, I sometimes tweet a lot, sometimes tweet a less, sometimes tweet moderately. But you can definitely have a look at it. I am on Twitter as well. And I would probably hope to see you all, my dear friends and subscribers, on my Twitter. And if you like my tweets, go ahead and follow them. And with this being said, it's about time for me to sign off on this daily cricket show, promising you that I'll be back with my next cricket broadcast.